I mean, it was a real change, really. I mean, I know I've said I wrote music before, but yeah, this is the first time it was really my thing, totally, you know, as opposed to maybe a track here and there. But this was like my thing. I was singing the words which I wrote and stuff. So, I mean, it's basically what I've always wanted to be. I mean, it was all right when people used to come up and say, hey, you know, you're a great drummer. I mean, like, that's nice, but it doesn't really, like, mean much to me, you know. But if somebody comes up and says, that song you wrote really, like, affected my life or whatever, or I really love it or something, I mean, you get a great feeling from that, you know.
What is the point of me writing this song? You'll never hear it now, you have gone. I could write you a letter or give you a call, but I'm too scared is the truth of it all.
Above all, I always wanted to be like a songwriter, you know, because a lot of the music I listen to is that, you know, I like good songs, you know. I don't think there's enough people writing songs these days.
I used to see you on the beach. I used to think you out of reach. I didn't know what you were thinking, but my eyes were smiling. Yeah.
I wrote a lot of these songs. I just wrote them at home, and you know, whatever came out. And then after I'd done them, I kind of looked at what I'd done, and I wasn't deliberately thinking, oh, I'm gonna, like, you know, just like, you know, put my innermost feelings down on paper, sort of thing. I wasn't really doing that. I was just like singing something, words coming out, you know. And afterwards I thought, you know, God, I'm really kind of like opening up myself on this. And I was thinking, like, do I really want this to go out into the world, you know? But I thought, well, what am I going to, you know, what do people write songs about if they're not going to write about things that really happen to them and really deeply affect them? Like, what are you going to write about? I mean, you can write about lots of things, but I'd rather write about emotional subjects, really. I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, that's what great soul music and stuff is about, you know. So I wanted to do a kind of soulful thing, you know.
I don't expect you to understand the things that go on when you're not around.
The inspirations, I suppose, for a lot of the sort of songs on the type of music I was doing on the first record was, I suppose, very kind of Carole King-y, you know, Laura Nyro, you know, Todd Rundgren kind of a thing.
I'm a pilgrim, and you know it. Big apple dreaming, give me a kiss today.
You know, I think like the early 70s is such a wonderful period. I mean, there's people that say like the 70s was just a washout until punk happened, but I totally disagree. You know, because like I think that's the period when it went downhill. You know, in a lot of ways. I'm just not the kind of person who can think too much in terms of like career moves and stuff. I'm just not one of those kind of people, you know. I do not think in terms of like markets and all this stuff, and trying to be contemporary, because if you try and be contemporary, your record in 2 years' time will immediately be dated. In a way, I like my music to be old-fashioned, because I know it's not really old-fashioned, but there's elements of that in it, you know. But I mean, if somebody says it's old-fashioned, I'm not going to take it as an insult. I'll probably take it as a compliment. You know, because I'd rather be compared to, you know, Phil Spector than the Smashing Pumpkins or something.